What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua states that he has no time to change up his style. This is what he had to say. He said, I can go in there and do the same thing. I was 50% on the way there in getting the win. I had him down in round 3, and I just got caught when I tried to finish him off. So when I said that it was a punch from the gods in the interview of Sky Sports, it wasn't a lucky punch for him, for instance, because he trains for that. But let's say I trained to defend the hook. It caught me in a place on the head that I couldn't recover from. The punch was perfect. So in that respect, it was sent from the gods. I can go in there and do the same thing and maybe take a bit more time. So in terms of crashing down, I haven't fallen so far from the tree that I've got to wait 2 years to have the rematch. It's happening in 3 months. I know how to fight. Look, if I was to change everything now, it would be too risky. I haven't got enough time to change and amend and make it new. I will just add little things that will make a big difference. Those are the words of Anthony Joshua. So, me counterpunching this is some great concern. Him saying I can go in and do the same thing. Let's look at that. From rounds 1 to 3, it was pretty even 1 to 2, like for the first round and the second round. Okay, the third round was actually the round that opened both fighters up, because both fighters went to the canvas. But when he dropped Andy Ruiz, he did get a little, excuse me. I think his adrenaline was high, and he wanted to end the fight early, and he did jump the gun. That is true, but that does not explain how tired and winded he was in the third round. Like, he looked in the third round the same way he looked in the 6th round with Vladimir Klitschko. And a lot of people think he should sack McCracken. I think he should go with someone else, but then he doesn't have time, really. So he's right. He doesn't have time to make a big change like that. Because now they're telling him everything you know, unknow, we're going to learn you new things all in 3 months. Impossible. That's not going to work. Now I feel that his biggest problem wasn't his chin. It wasn't his boxing ability, because he was still landing shots. He was just in there with a guy that can take those punches. He knows now, I can't just go in there and knock out Andy Ruiz as much as I want to. He can't do that in this fight. So he has to learn how to, first of all, pace himself. And let alone have the stamina and the endurance to go 12 rounds if he needed to. Okay? So I think that's why the muscle, get rid of the image, strip all that down. That's why you see him now more lean, right? And they know, because he's going to have to move. And I know what their strategy is, or I think I know, rather. And I don't think it's to move a lot. I think it's to move enough that Andy really can't set to throw those combinations, right? Now, him saying, well, I can do the same thing, he has to be able to punch off his back foot. He has to have that endurance. So his biggest problem is his strength and conditioning. I think they should start there. I think they should bring in someone that can make him or get his endurance where it needs to be for this type of fight. Because there will be times where Andy is timing punches. He's a counterpuncher. So he wants to catch Joshua coming in with that straight jab, so he can counter over the jab or the right hand, right? So he can catch him with a hook or whatnot. Andy Ruiz is waiting. He's like a cobra ready to strike. If you notice that fight, he took his time. He was waiting for Joshua to come in, that's his opportunity. So yeah, those little things like that he has to be aware of. And I think they're going to really focus on what Andy does and what Andy's ability is. And I believe that you seen the best Andy Ruiz that night. You did. I don't see Andy Ruiz getting any better. Not saying he's a bad fighter, he's a very good fighter, but I think the fight what you see is what you get with Andy Ruiz. His strength and conditioning coach said he's going to do more. They're going to punch more. They're going to throw more punches than they did the first fight. I'm just curious to see if Andy Ruiz can throw that many punches. I think he probably can, But one thing I see he did not like the idea of Joshua moving around that ring. And I think that'll frustrate him. I think he should do like Canelo Lara. I thought I had the poster up, but it's downstairs. But anyway, he wanted to do one of those moves. So, but hey, we don't have to change anything. Just a little tweaks here, a little tweaks there. Because I know what they're thinking. I know what's going through their mind. They're thinking, you know what? If I hadn't just jumped the gun too early, Andy Ruiz probably would have been out of there, because what would have happened? Ruiz at that point knew, okay, this guy can hurt me. So if Joshua didn't hit the gas like he did, if he wouldn't have hit the gas, Andy Ruiz would have respected his power, and he wouldn't have been that eager to punch back. Joshua just opened up and left himself open. So yeah, so he can't get overzealous in there either, right? But the good thing about it, these two guys are worried about each other. I hope. You know what I'm saying? But I think the focus is equal at this point. But I do agree with Joshua in to change his style up now. No, I don't think you can learn that in that amount of time. And like Tyson Fury said, as soon as you get hit, he's going to revert back to the same thing. I do agree with that. That's why I agreed with Tyson Fury, because you go and try to mess with a fighter. Now he's trying to learn or remember what you've taught him versus what he already knows. Like Joshua said, hey, man, I know how to fight. I know how to fight. So that's not the problem. The problem is, I already had him down. I want to get back into the ring, and let's try that again. That's basically what Anthony Joshua was saying. And he's stripping that weight down, which was a good thing, as a plus. So we should see two good fighters come into the ring that night prepared to fight each other, because they know who their opponent is going to be. But anyway, that's my take on Anthony Joshua and his coach in strengthening and conditioning and game plan. You guys tell me what you think. Of course, please subscribe, and you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.